morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. It is showing rain. It's very possible it's raining. It started raining yesterday afternoon. My bright morning quickly clouded over and off we went to the rain. So it's going to be a rainy day, but we'll be able to walk the dogs, I'm sure. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. As predicted by Dennis yesterday, when I woke up yesterday morning having a pretty good night's sleep, he said, "Oh, and so you're not going to sleep well tonight?" I'm like, very likely. And he was right. Not a great night, but I'm actually feeling okay. So, funny, I have a lot of things to talk about, and it was still a quiet day. But I did finish that card, but I messed up right there. I was trying to figure out what to do with the stems, and I messed it up, and I wasn't happy with it. Otherwise, I really like it, and I tried to fix it. And my fixing it didn't make it worse, so that made me feel a little better, but I don't know about this one. So I decided to make another one. Now, I like the background of this one. The next one, the background is a little darker. Anyway, this is the one I think I'm going to send to my sister. Same idea. The last little bits of black lines that I did in the stems, I did with a Sharpie. Oh. I found another pen. My dog, Maisie, loves to chew on pens and pencils and things like that. She takes Aura's pencils off of her side table all the time. But I had mine on this table. She came up on this table to take my pens off the table. I was so annoyed. But anyway, I see I have another one. I use these microns. And she chewed up a micron. She had another one she was starting, which is what I saw and stopped her. So this is good. But Dennis recently got on a kick. He wanted Sharpies. And he got on a kick and bought like 3 packages of multiple Sharpies in a package. And 2 of them had colors. Here's 2 of them were like this kind of, so it's 8 in a package. But I guess he got kind of regular fat Sharpies, fine Sharpies, and ultra fine Sharpies. And I'm like, you know what? My ink is waterproof. It's part of the point of it. I could use a Sharpie. So I did. So but now that I'm looking at my thing, I had one more micron pen, but this is the kind of pen Maisie ate. Unbelievably, it was laying on the rug, and there was no ink left on the rug, which is good. So anyway, I finished this off with a Sharpie, and it worked just great. So this is the card I'm sending to my sister. I have to write it and get it in the mailbox before the mailman comes. But I think it turned out okay. Oh, which reminds me, I'm going to have to scan it, so I have it, because I'm sending her the original. She's an artiste. So I want to send her the original, but I do want to, I try to scan them, but it's a pain in the neck. But I have to remind Dennis I have to scan it. It's got to boot up his machine and everything. So I did a couple rows. I was knitting, and I did a couple rows on my leg warmers, and it's going to be really cold for the next couple days, and then it gets warm again, and I'm afraid I'm not going to have my leg warmers quite done because I got distracted. So I only put a couple rows in, and I decided to swatch for my Corian. So I told you I was going to use the Noro. And so I started swatching with the Noro. And I have to say, I love how it looks. I think I'm gonna love whatever I make from this. But as I was, oh, no, I don't see the tag. Oh, here it is. Sorry, I'm here. Did I just do that? Sorry again. As I was knitting with it, I realized that it was really reminding me of a recycled yarn that I had gotten many years ago in Barcelona, and I had made into a V-neck summer sweater. I forget the name of it, and I'm not sure if it was Heidi Kiermaier or Isabel Kramer. But anyway, I had made sort of a summer sweater out of it that I have worn so much. It's kind of a tan colored, a little bit mottled, and it's the sweater I took. I can't tell you how many trips I took that sweater on, because it was perfect for when it's just a little chilly. I think of it as a summer sweater, although I didn't put it away with the summer sweaters. I took it to North Carolina. It's perfect for sitting on the, I thought I had some too. Perfect for sitting on the deck, you know. But I think of it as a summer sweater. And gee, why wouldn't I? Because the Noro is 35% viscose, 35% cotton, 20% silk, and 10% wool. I told you that before, and I'm sure some of you are out there saying, okay, but the reason you're making this poncho is because you want to be warm. This is not the blend of yarn that's going to keep you warm. Now, nobody said it to my face, i.e. they didn't put it in the comments, but I'm sure some of you were like scratching your head when I thought, oh, this is great, because I think it's stunningly gorgeous, and it's going to make a gorgeous, gorgeous garment, and I think it's going to make a gorgeous summer cardigan, or, you know, spring, fall, 3-season cardigan. This is as far as I got knitting my swatch, and I realized this isn't the right yarn for what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make something that's going to be cozy and feel warm and warm me up. I'm going to put my leg warmers on, and I'm going to put my Korean poncho on, and I'm going to be snugly warm. And this yarn isn't doing it. So I stopped. I love this yarn. It's going to be, you know, someday a cardigan, a 3-season cardigan. So I went back into my room, which is a complete disaster, and I'm going to need to work on it today because tomorrow is our Zoom call. And I do Zoom in there, and I won't be able to put my computer down. So anyway, Zoom, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a thread in the Flame and Fiber Podcast Ravelry group with a click on the link, and it magically will take you where you need to go. Thank you, Valerie. So I have to work in my room today, but I was in it yesterday, and I found the yarn that I'm making my Korean out of. So I swatched it, and I liked it, and I started. So this is my turtleneck. This is the beginning of my turtleneck. Now I have tried it on. I have lipstick on now, so I'm not going to do it again. I've tried it on. I think it's a good size. Now, when I did my swatch, my problem is the pearl. The pattern recommends a size 8 needle. This is John Arbon's Color by Number, Knit by Number, the whatever by number. I left the tag upstairs. I'm sorry. I'll show it to you tomorrow. DK 100% Falkland Merino. This is warm and cozy and soft, and I'm very excited about it. But when I can't find a size 8 to save my life. Well, I didn't go through my projects, but I couldn't find a size 8. I found a 9 and a 7 and a 6 because you start with a lower number for the ribbing. So I swatched on the 7, and I liked the fabric. And do I have the swatch in here? Where's my swatch? Here's my swatch. I liked the fabric on the 7. And I'm like, okay, I want to do that. But when I did the gauge, check the gauge, I'm getting 20 stitches for 4 inches on a size 7 with this yarn. And the pattern calls for 18 stitches. So I am getting 10% more stitches than I should for my 4 inches, which means I have to add stitches to the pattern. Now this pattern is one size. You know, basically you need to make it so that it goes over your head and the turtleneck is comfortable. Oh, let me show you the pattern. Duh. So I realized that based on the pattern, I was going to need to add 10%. This is the Korean. So, you know, I'm here. So I added 8%. Well, I think I should have added, you know, 9, and I added 8. I mean, it's a 2x2 rib that I'm doing. So I added 8. So I just have to go through and keep that in mind as I'm doing other things. But, so I had to adjust the number of stitches because of my gauge. I did a gauge swatch. There, no, gauge swatches are lying liars that lie. But I thought, what the heck? And I've tried this on. So anyway, I'm not doing the Noro. And I know I was excited to do the Noro too. And I know some of you were excited for me to do the Noro. So I will do the Noro because I love that yarn. I really do. And I thought it was okay to knit with. It wasn't gorgeous. I mean, I enjoyed knitting with this more than with the Noro. I mean, in terms of the feel and stuff. But I think I need a sharper needle for the Noro than I need for this. Anyway, I'm very excited. And I started it. The only thing, and I'm going to talk to Marianne. I hope she can come to the Zoom tomorrow. She's a regular, but not always available. Because this pattern has short row shaping at the back neck. And I didn't realize that. I kind of pictured it as something that I wouldn't have to worry about what was front and back, and I would just be able to throw it on and not think about it. I do have a gift of, this is the back labels that I could put on. I've never actually used them because I cut labels out of things. But I don't know. I just had this idea I could just throw it on and not think about it twice. So I think I'll ask Mary Ann, because she finished hers, her opinion on whether or not it really needed those short rows in the back, or if it would be comfortable without them. Because my inclination is to make it sort of any side goes, because I feel like in a sweater, because it has to sit exactly where it sits because of the sleeves and everything, that short row shaping is important. If Marianne recommends the short row shaping, I will definitely do it, because I definitely need it and do it on sweaters. I just thought perhaps on this poncho it wasn't quite so necessary. But we'll see what she says, or I'll get opinions of all the participants in Zoom. This is some of the things we do in Zoom. We ask for advice. And so I will work on this today, but I'll stop when I get to the end, when I get to the part where the short rows were, before I get my advice. So I have more information to make a decision. I'm not saying I'll do what you say. I'm just saying I would love to hear your advice. But anyway, so apologies to those who were so excited about the Noro, because I was too. But I just realized what a foolish yarn. It's so inappropriate for what I'm trying to do that I went back. I've had this John Arbon yarn for 4 or 5 years. This is the same yarn that I was thinking I was ordering this color, and I don't know what color it is. I'll tell you when I get the label. And I accidentally ordered a different yarn, which was a dark brown. I mean, it was a beautiful color, but and then I'm like, oh, she made a mistake, and I realized I was the one who made a mistake. So I was going to send it back and get this. And then, I have this problem. Whenever I get yarn by mistake, I just can't give it up. I can't send it back. It's so crazy. So I just ordered this again. So I had 2. But then I never did anything with the brown. And I ended up, it was the main prize for the year-long knit-along from 2022. And Verena won it, and she is knitting something with it. So that's good. So Verena, I'm using the same yarn as you, just a different color. Anyway, I'm so tickled with it, and the color's showing up really good. And I'm really happy I changed. So apologies to those who were excited about the Noro, but I'm excited to knit this. But I won't go any further than the ribbing until I get advice. So there you go. Anyway, so that was my knitting yesterday. So you've seen my crafting. I'm gonna scan this, get get Dennis to turn on his computer so I can scan these cards, and then I'm gonna try to get this card in the mail box before the mailman comes today, so it can go, and it might actually arrive in time. Her birthday's the 26th. So, as is almost everybody else's in my family, the 26th of something. Anyway, so I've started my Korean. Thank you again, Marianne, for the pattern. And I got the yarn at the Woolly Thistle. I ordered it from the Woolly Thistle. W-O-O-L-L-Y, Thistle. So there you go. And today, and I finished my book, and I really liked it, so I ordered the next one in the series, and I forgot to look up who the author is. And I'll try to do that for you tomorrow, so you know, because I bought another one today, so I'm going to be reading it, and knitting, and painting. While Dennis is puttering with his wine, and cooking. Oh, I have fluff to make, too, so I'll be making some fluff for Aura. She loves the fluff. She never turns down fluff, and she does like to have a dessert. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, that's it for me. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please. And I'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link is in the Ravelry page, or you can email me at flameandfiber@mindspring.com, and I will send you the link.
Stay safe and stay sane.
I didn't leave yet.
Oh, I thought you were pressing the stop.
No, I'm getting ready. He was afraid I was going to forget to tell you, stay safe and stay sane.